This is the mitochondrion, the powerhouse of the cell. But just how does the mitochondrion power that cell? Well, it does so through the four-step process of cellular respiration. And so our journey begins outside the mitochondrion in the cytosol of the cell, where we start with the first step in cellular respiration, glycolysis. Now, glycolysis in itself is a 10-step process, so let's just stick with the main ideas for this video. The main objective in glycolysis is to break down a 6-carbon glucose molecule into 2 molecules of 3-carbon pyruvate. During the first 3 steps of glycolysis, we have an energy requiring stage. The following 7 steps are the energy payoff stage. The net products of the reaction are 2 ATP molecules, 2 NADH molecules, and 2 pyruvate. The 2 molecules of pyruvate must cross the inner membrane of the mitochondria and arrive at the matrix where the second stage of cellular respiration, pyruvate oxidation, can take place. The molecules of pyruvate will each release a molecule of CO2 and join with coenzyme A. NAD is also reduced to NADH during this reaction. This results in the formation of acetyl-CoA, a molecule vital in the upcoming steps. As a whole, the products of this reaction from the 2 pyruvate are 2 acetyl-CoA, 2 NADH, and 2 released molecules of CO2. The 2 molecules of acetyl-CoA are then the starting point for the third stage of cellular respiration, the citric acid cycle. This 8-step cycle continues in the mitochondrial matrix and begins when 2-carbon acetyl-CoA joins with 4-carbon oxaloacetate to form 6-carbon citrate. In the next 2 steps, citrate will release one of its carbons in the form of CO2 while also producing NADH each time. In the 6th step, the oxidation of succinate produces FADH2, while in the 8th and final step, NADH is produced a 3rd time before the cycle begins once again. The cycle happens twice as there were 2 pyruvate, so the final products are 6 NADH, 2 FADH2, and 2 ATP. This then takes us to the 4th and final step of cellular respiration, oxidative phosphorylation. There are 2 main components, the electron transport chain and chemiosmosis. In the electron transport chain, some of the products of the citric acid cycle, NADH and FADH2, are freed of some of their electrons. These electrons then travel through the chain via proteins, and this is done through continuous oxidation-reduction reactions. Whilst this is happening, protons are released from these reactions. This creates an area of higher concentration of protons in the intermembrane, so naturally they want to move to an area of lower concentration within the matrix. However, the protons now have only one entry point back into the matrix, and that's through a protein known as ATP synthase, which makes, you guessed it, ATP. In total, the whole process of cellular respiration produces 38 molecules of ATP. Thanks, mitochondrion, for powering our cells.